is Pastor Ken, coming to you from the automobile of Miss Charlotte. She's busy driving. There she is. She drives me wherever I go. Yep. And I have a joke. I tell her she drives me crazy. And that is a joke. We were at a baseball game this afternoon for our grandson, Carter, at Messiah College and the Messiah Falcons. And they won the game pretty handily. I think it was 10-2 or something.
No, 12 to 2? 12 or 13.
Well, I'd say that was pretty handily. And it wasn't that the team was a bad team either. They were playing well today. And but as I watched the guys play ball today, the thought crossed my mind. In order to have a good ball club, you got to be a team player. You don't always get to be on the field all the time, or you don't always get to be in your favorite position, and you don't always have a day when you hit home runs. And you don't always win every game. But when you know that you're working together as a team, man, there's something beautiful about watching that. Watching those double plays get turned that quick and the grandson's involved in that, in the middle of that, it's so exciting. It's exhilarating. It really is. I remember when he was just a little squirt, the very first time we went to a baseball game, I can't believe we went to that, thought it was a big deal. He was hitting the ball off a T-stand, T-ball. I remember that as clear as yesterday. And then came the home run contest, and he won that. And but he's had a lot of times when he's had to work through low times and hard times, medical problems and sickness. He's had to work through slumps. Anybody in sports knows what that's about. I thought as he stood up there strong and hitting good and catching superb and playing first base like you just couldn't ask any better performance on first base. And then 3/4 of the way through, Carter gets pulled aside and somebody else gets to finish the game. Now, Charlotte told me something today that I thought was funny. Do you want to tell them that? Can you say that without...
What is that, Ken?
About how our opinion changed last year over this year?
Last year, Carter was not in the first string very often. And so when they would pull the first string out and let some of the others substitute into play, we were thrilled because
yes.
Then Carter got to play.
Yeah.
But this year he's first string.
Yeah.
And when they pull him out and put somebody else into play, I said, remember, Ken, how good that felt to us when we saw Carter get to play. So somebody else was feeling like that tonight when their son or grandson got to play.
Yeah. Thanks, Charlotte. That was a word of insight if I ever heard it right there. And it put it in perspective. It really did for me. Sometimes you're set on the side, not because you're playing bad,
but because somebody else needs to be developed.
Somebody else needs to be developed. That is so true. Well, I'm back again. And we're still trucking down the road. And here's what I want to say to finish up this video for Rise and Shine. Teamwork. You can't play a game of ball by yourself. First stringers are standing on the fence waiting until next year, but they got fully dressed, just as if they're going to be called up to play today. And they know they probably won't. But as a team player, they get fully dressed. And you know, another thing that I really enjoy is seeing them guys on the field. 30 or 40 guys on the field praying with each other before the game started. It is just so awesomely, fantastically exciting to me. It's incredible. Now, I'm not trying to boast on my grandson. I'm just making an observation that in order to make anything work, you have to be a team player. If it's in your home, you got to work together, pray together, play together, drive and ride together. Life is not a lone ranger. It's us working together. And I have to admit something tonight, that when your life changes as a result of something you've had to go through, you might not always end up on the first string. But whatever you do, don't quit and don't give up. Because God's got something good for you going on. God's got something good for you to do. And I've thought about that a lot. And thought, well, Lord, couldn't I do this a lot better if I hadn't gone through what I went through? And I don't get any guaranteed answers from the Lord on that, except I've got a calmness about where I am and what I'm going through, that I'm right where the Lord wants me at this time of my life. I'm not ahead of the game. I'm not behind the game. I'm not saying, God, put this on me. I'm saying I have had an incredible amount of opportunities as I work through this. The people in the congregation where I'm the pastor they're a great bunch of people. They really are. People have stepped up to the plate, making visits, making hospital visits, support and encouragement. We did. And I've thought to myself a few times, that probably would not have happened unless they had have realized PK's not getting as much done there maybe as he would like to get done, so we'll just help him. What a fantastic attitude. So as I end this evening talking to you about being a team player, please, let's keep it up. Let's keep doing it. I saw something in the game today that a guy comes sliding into one of the bases, and then man standing on the base was blocking it a little bit, and the guy running certainly wasn't going to get out of the way. He just comes sailing in with a slide, and there was body contact. And as soon as ever the dust settled, the runner went right over to that guy and said, "Are you all right? Sorry about that." And it wasn't like, "You deserved that. You were in the way. You were trying to block me." I just got a lot of life lessons out of that this afternoon. I was so glad I went. I had a good time to be with my wife, Miss Charlotte here. We had a good time together. And we're nearly home. And I want to thank you for tuning in to Rise and Shine. And remember, the umpire's always right. I sit there, and I say, "He's out." And Charlotte will say, "No, he's not. The umpire said he's safe." But I think I saw it with my own eyes. Well, you're not the umpire. Oh, how true. I'm not the umpire. Believe me, it works the other way around as well. It really does. But the people that are calling the shots, the umpires, are right there on the field. They're involved. A whole lot different than sitting in the stands. There's lots of people want to sit in the stands. They got all kind of things to say sitting in the stands. But the people that are on the playing field are team players. Well, here's how it went down. I see this every game. Now, we did not do this when I was a kid playing baseball. But here's what they do. The catcher does it. The first baseman does it. I saw it again today. Did you see that, Charlotte, when they went over and shake hands with the umpire? Shake hands with him and welcome them to the game. And well, what they're really doing by shaking his hand, say, "We're happy you're here, and we're going to surrender to whatever you make the call." Right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
I think that is awesome.
Yeah.
I just think that's a great way to approach life. God's the umpire, isn't he? Well, as you can see, it's getting dusk, and I've just had a really nice time talking to you. And we're coming up through a place called the Narrows, and we'll soon be home. But be a team player in your church. Don't be one of those persons that just always stirring in the pot. Be a team leader. Be an encourager. Be the kind of person that you're always blessing somebody. And if somebody does get hurt, take care of it and move on. Life's too short for any other approach. It really is. I've had a good time talking to you today. Thank you for listening. I send you my prayers. I send this to Jeff Myers today, whose dad is in the hospital or in the nursing home. And I pray that you would mention him in prayer. Jeff's dad, because he needs help. But God's able. So, good night. God bless. When you get this, it'll be good morning, rise and shine. See you now.